Are you looking to purchase a pre-owned designer handbag but nervous about pulling the trigger? As someone who's been in your shoes before, here are my top 5 tips for feeling more confident in your first pre-owned handbag purchase. Starting off with tip number 1, know exactly what you want. When shopping for a pre-owned handbag, one of the most important things is to know exactly what you want. Pre-loved handbags come and go quickly on the market, so you have to be ready to pull the trigger. Nail down the style, color, and size you want and get to know that handbag inside and out. Everything down to the shade can vary year by year, so be sure to do your research. I'd recommend starting off by trying on the bag in person if possible, whether that means going to your local boutique or to a resale store like the Real or Rebag. Even if it's not the exact bag that you want, trying it on can help you narrow down the style, size, and color. Another great resource is the platform you're on right now, YouTube. There are tons of influencers with bag reviews and comparison videos, and they'll often share their measurements so you can get a rough idea of how this bag will look on you compared to them. Once you've narrowed down the exact handbag you want, we can move on to tip number 2, which is to get familiar with different resellers. Each reseller works differently, so it's important for you to get to know their individual policies, especially their return policy. Most importantly, do your due diligence to ensure that they are reputable and that you're comfortable transacting with them. Read as many reviews as you can, ask people you know who have purchased from them in the past, and look for seller check posts on the Facebook REITzy groups. If you don't know what a REITzy group is, just go onto Facebook groups, search REITzy, that's REETZY, and then whatever designer name of the bag that you are looking for. So REITzy Louis Vuitton, REITzy Hermes, and you are bound to find them. There are many pre-owned handbag resellers on Instagram, such as Coco Approved, Redeluxe, and Luxe Edition. If you do choose to go that route, I recommend opting into their news stories and post alerts so you can know immediately when they have a new handbag for sale, because those bags can go quick. As for the resale websites, some of the more popular ones are the Real, Rebag, and Fashion File. And the advantage that these websites have over the Instagram resellers are typically their policies, since they are bigger companies. And they also have brick and mortar stores that you can visit in person, which I'd recommend frequenting because you never know what you might find. I also have a pre-loved handbag finds page on my website, which I will link down below, where I round up my top picks from these resale websites. Feel free to bookmark this page so you can refer back to it often, since I try to keep it as updated as possible because the inventory on these resale websites is constantly changing. After familiarizing yourself with the different resellers you can choose from, you are getting closer to making your bag purchase, which leads us to tip number 3. Know the original price versus the resale price. It's important to know what the original price of that bag was and what a reasonable resale price would be. You can compare prices amongst different resellers so you can better understand the market for that bag. When comparing prices, pay close attention to the condition of the bag as well as what's included in the sale. For example, excellent condition to the Real may not be the same as excellent condition to Redeluxe. Keep an eye out for whether the bag comes with its authenticity card, the original box, the original dust bag, as well as proof of purchase, or if it's missing any of those items. You should also keep in mind that not all handbags resell for less than their retail price. Some examples of popular handbags that resell for over their retail price are the Hermes Birkin, Hermes Kelly, Hermes Constance, as well as the Chanel Classic Flap. These bags can go for hundreds, if not thousands, over their original retail price. My next tip is definitely the most important, and that is to authenticate, and authenticate. I cannot stress this point enough. Properly authenticating your bag ensures that it's real. Reputable resellers will authenticate prior to listing, but sometimes even the best of them can get it wrong, so be sure to do your due diligence. For every bag, there are a few key details that you can check to validate its authenticity. If you're not confident it's real, I'd recommend moving on. Another bag will pop up on the market as long as you're patient. However, if you're really set on this specific bag, you can attempt to do research online and validate it yourself, but I'd recommend going with a third-party authentication service in this case. You've done your research on the bag and the reseller, so now it's time to seal the deal with tip number 5. Know what you won't compromise on. This tip is especially important if you're trying to save money by purchasing pre-owned. Since these bags are pre-owned, they will have flaws. And as a pre-owned buyer, you have to know what flaws you aren't okay with. For my own pre-owned purchase of a vintage medium Chanel Classic Flap, I knew I would not be okay with any visible scratches or marks, tears, tarnishing, or recoloring. Knowing this, I was able to easily pull the trigger once I found a bag that met my requirements. There's no denying that your first pre-owned handbag purchase is going to be nerve-wracking, and sometimes it can feel like rolling the dice at a roulette table. But with these 5 tips in mind, you should feel more comfortable and confident in your first pre-owned designer handbag purchase. However, if you'd like to learn how to save a little bit of money without having to purchase pre-owned, head on over and watch my double Chanel unboxing where I reveal to you how I saved some money by purchasing in Hawaii.